Donald Trump, who's always looking for that next PR opportunity to keep himself front and center in the media cycle and keep the MAGA base fueled with fodder that is worship-worthy, just made a major announcement about a stunt he's planning for tonight, and the internet is mocking him mercilessly. I have a breakdown of his plans and the spectacular mockery for you next. Trump randomly dropped into a talk show by someone named Todd Starnes. Have a listen as the commander-in-chief of chaos, who sounded kind of slurry, dropped his bombshell announcement about tonight.
When we get a call from the President of the United States asking for airtime, we say, absolutely, Mr. President. And today we are very excited because we have an exclusive interview with President Trump. And the president called in earlier this morning, and it was about midway through, and you're so focused on listening to what the president is saying, and I got sidetracked because in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here going, holy cow, this is the leader of the free world, and he's spending 20 minutes of his morning in the Oval Office talking to us.
And I'm going to be going out tonight. I'm going to keep it a secret. But I'm going to go. You're the only one that knows. You and your lots of listeners. You have a great show. You have a very successful show, by the way, in case you haven't heard that. But I'm going to be going out tonight, I think, with the police, with the military, of course. So we're going to do a job. The National Guard is great. They've done a fantastic job.
So Trump is going on foot patrol tonight, and it's the biggest story of the day, but that clip of him talking about it was cut short because Todd Starnes quickly switched to the topic of sorority girls doing dance videos to support Trump. Good job, Todd. Sidetracked indeed. Now, before I share the mountain of mockery, I want to share a couple of other newsworthy mentions about the stunt. These clips from Fox don't qualify as mockery, but they do qualify as unintentional comedy. Have a listen to the host gushing over Trump hitting the mean streets to quench his thirst for media attention.
This is what an incredible president we have that actually serves and is among the American people.
I think it's like triumphant, right? Like he conquered the 2024 election and now he's conquering the streets of Washington, D.C. And I'll just really, like that's how I view it. And President Trump has the authority over the D.C. National Guard, and then the Home Rule Act gives him the authority over the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. So he is within, the rules of the law. And to me, this is like conquering D.C.
I do love how she felt the need to remind viewers that Trump is within the rule of law this time. A footnote that needs to be attached to each story about him. And here they are addressing what really matters tonight.
And I can't wait for the photo ops with President Trump tonight. Law and order. I can't wait to see what happens.
USA.
Yeah. What will he wear?
Yeah. Is there going to be like a law enforcement motif? Is it going to be a suit with a hat? I don't know.
Bulletproof vest saying, Mr. President.
And here's Marty Taylor with a much more sobering take on the Trump takeover of Washington, D.C. Armed military occupying a capital city never ends well. Hitler did it in 1938. Not to be outdone, Trump occupies D.C. in 2025. The similarities are undeniable and 100% on purpose by the Trump regime. The regime wants us afraid in our own homes. We are Americans. We will never bow down to a dictator, especially one named Trump. And now for the merciless mockery I promised over this breaking news. Ken Lee said, warning, a sexual abuser and convicted felon will be prowling the streets in D.C. tonight, accompanied by armed men and protected by the Supreme Court with full immunity to do whatever he wants. Keep your daughters inside. The Lincoln Project posted a tribute poster with the words, Kevin James looking skinny by comparison. And Blue Sky user Charles Now commented, Trump says he's going out in D.C. tonight with the National Guard, sandwich makers to the ramparts. That's a reference to this guy who protested the military presence in his city by unfurling a footlong in the face of a foot soldier. What we are witnessing is a dictator's dress rehearsal. When Trump parades through D.C. with troops at his side and cameras close behind, he wants Americans to feel unsafe and think of him as their savior, so they will give up more freedom. And at the end of the day, this is not a presidential move. It's just more desperation from an egomaniac. His street theater is just a strongman fantasy ordered into reality. But the more he leans on these empty stunts, the more he exposes himself as weak, insecure, and terrified of losing control at a time when the Epstein files and thoughts of the midterms cause internal panic over losing that control. He still has fans who will swoon over this pathetic stunt, but the rest of us will keep mocking the fool on the hill. I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Please leave your thoughts with the comment below, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.
I hate Occupy Democrats.